Hey, hey, hey! One second. There we go. Ugh. Oh, I forgot that that's... there. I've got something very special to share right now. There it is. Like I said in the comments, this is probably one of the most bizarre things I own. I don't know why, but this is the only Resident Evil game that has been put onto N64. They decided to wait till the GameCube to put the other two on there. I got no idea. Anyways, you guys know that Resident Evil 1 Remake was on GameCube, and there were also ports of 2 and 3 on GameCube, as well as Code Veronica X, and Resident Evil 0 was an exclusive for a while. I don't think 4 was exclusive there. Yeah, so you know, they had some history. I mean, Capcom games were almost exclusively on NES in the Mega Man era. I mean, that was their only choice. But Super Nintendo, they had Mega Man 7, 8, Mega Man and Base. They had Street Fighter 2, about 3 different versions. You know? So it's not like they're unfamiliar with each other. It doesn't strike me... Capcom doesn't strike me as one of those Nintendo-loving third-party companies. And to be fair, a lot of companies like Capcom or Square or whatever, you know, the bigger third parties, jumped ship from the 64 because the cartridges were harder and more expensive to produce, which we're kind of sort of seeing with the Switch 2, and those like digital download cartridges where you're getting the game but you're not actually owning it. It's whatever stupid thing's going on with that. Is that a lot of the third-party companies are opting for those digital download cartridges because they're cheaper, and they're Nintendo is doing it too, but they have the budget to keep it. I don't know, man. It's confusing. Anyways, okay, that's active. Let me pause this. Audio inputs on. I'll take this off. And I think it's the third setting. Yes. Okay. It's not showing up though. Hang on. I'll fix it. No, I don't want that. Looks like the audio is coming through. I know I don't want to stretch it. Let me just keep it at fit to screen. Do we want something for the borders? Yes or no? Do we want borders? There, move my chair down a little. Sure. Okay. I'll put in my typical then. I don't think we had it for the original Resident Evil, but you can't know that it's Persona 4. The scan line's weird on that. Hang on. Something wacky's going on with this. Let me fix that. And that looks a bit better. I think I can turn the contrast on the image down too, and I think that's probably go better with the background. That looks a little better, I think. Let me see it on the stream, because I'm just seeing it on my recording software now. Yeah, that looks nice. Looks proper. Of course, we're playing Leon. We want violence high. And of course, we're going with red blood color.
A bizarre incident occurred.
I'm gonna move in front of my
American
CRT now,
City.
and I'm gonna just
It
tilt
was later revealed that the
this.
terrible disaster had been caused by the T virus, a mutagenic toxin created by the international enterprise Umbrella Incorporated for use in bioweapon experiments. The Raccoon City Police Department's Special Stars Unit immediately began investigation in the affair. The case was apparently closed, thanks to the efforts of STARS members Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine.
Okay, Jill,
But
we
the
didn't do
Umbrella
Chris.
Corporation's experiments were far from finished.
I might go back and do Chris later. Probably the remake, since I know my disc is broken.
What have we got here?
Guy's a maniac. Why'd he bite me?
Man, what a mess. What could have done this? What was that? What are these things? All right, that's far enough. Don't move! Don't move. No! What's up with that guy? That was a clean hit. I'm running out of ammo here.
Wait! Don't shoot!
Get down! We can't stay out here. Head to the police station. It'll be a lot safer. There! Buckle up.
Okay. What's going on? I arrived in town, and the whole place went
Great.
insane.
The radio's out.
You're a cop, right?
Yeah, first day on the job. Great, huh? Name's Leon Kennedy. Nice to meet you.
Mine's Claire. Claire Redfield. I came to find my brother, Chris.
Hey, could you open the glove box?
Sure. There's a gun inside.
Better take it with you. You okay?
Still in one piece.
That maniac's gonna ram us! Run! Claire!
Leon!
I'm okay. Head to the station. I'll meet you there.
Okay!
So, this game came out in 1998, 2 years after the original. We're gonna see another cutscene here.
Freeze! Who are you? What are you doing here?
Hold your fire! I'm a human!
Sorry about that. I thought you were one of them.
What's going on in this town?
Hold on. I don't have a clue. By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies. But you should be safe inside here. I'm keeping a close eye on things.
Why do I feel unsafe with him saying that? One thing I will add is that the cutscenes and audio quality here is not going to be nearly as good as on the PlayStation because it was disc-based. Oops. I don't want to run into him. I still don't think I have a quick turn. I'm staying here and shooting him because I want to see if I can get the shotgun off of him. I don't think so, but it's worth a shot, right? Yeah. There. Was it worth it? Looks like it. Robert's note. How could this have happened, Barry? The town's been overrun by zombies and has literally become a nightmare on Earth. As you know, my concern for this town is as great as your own. I've been waiting for your arrival on the assumption you were still in the area, but the threat of my shop being overwhelmed by zombies has become too great. I've already distributed the majority of weapons and ammo to the town's survivors, including the Raging Bull you special ordered. Okay, that makes sense. I hope you understand, given the circumstances. At any rate, I have no intention of pointlessly sacrificing my life and will be retreating to Stoneville. Stone Village? Oh. If you get this message, meet me there. We'll go fishing. Robert Kendo. Poor Kendo. Yeah, I don't think there's a quick turn until 3. Yeah, I'm not seeing... And of course, I don't have a manual, so I can't check to see if they had the quick turn yet. Like I said, I doubt it. I think that was a Resident Evil 3 edition. I can tell you one thing for sure, it's not from Resident Evil Survivor. I should probably keep my distance. Not go for a headshot, you know. So much for that. This is the first game they added the injured states, though. That's interesting. Something I've noticed with the 1 remake is I don't think they had injured states. I'd have to play through it again, but you know, for the 5 billionth time. But I don't think that there was an additional injured state. Like it slowed you down like this. It does in 3. It does in 4, kind of, sorta. It does in ooh, some more handgun ammo. What I could really do with is an herb right now, though. Pretty much every Resident Evil game after 2 had some sort of injured state, you know, slow up. Oh, I guess the vomit got me. Great. Fantastic. Should be able to just skip all these cutscenes, but let's see. Yeah. I want to see what that blue thing behind me is, but it's probably nothing. This is awesome. I forgot to do this a little earlier, but just to prove my point, this is a wired N64 controller. Wired into my N60, plugged into my N64. It's not... I'm not faking anything, so...
What are you doing here?
Okay, we gotta watch the
I'm a human.
not FMV, what's the word I'm looking for? In-engine cutscenes.
Sorry about that. I thought you were one of them.
What's going on in this town?
Hold on. I don't have a clue. By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies.
I don't know if it's just playing as the male character first or whatever, but Jill feels a lot more responsive in compared to this guy. Maybe it's the N64 controller being a little different, but I swear, Claire felt better. Jill felt better to play as, and maybe that'll be consistent with Claire. Oh, okay, full 18-shot clip. Wasn't so bad, right? And I got out of there with a lot more health. I'll pick up the note anyways. A lot of the sound effects are the same, I'm noticing, between 1 and 2. The footsteps, some of the door opening, the menu sound effects are all the same, which, you know, it shouldn't surprise me, and to be frank, it doesn't. The fact that it, you know, could be a form of cutting costs or just reusing, I don't know. Okay, that's all 3, I think. And there's the 4th guy here. How many handgun bullets? 6? Okay, that should be enough, right? I could just ignore him. That works too. See, I feel like Jill turned faster. Or maybe it's just because this is an old controller. It's not as... Is it input sensitive? It's input sensitive, that's why. I guess I shouldn't complain because my PS2 controller is the same way. All PS2... Well, I think most PS2 controllers have input sensitivity, so if you don't hold the analog stick in the exact direction you want the entire way you want to go, it's not going to give you the full range of movement. I've had issues, not like the controller's broken or anything, but because it works like that, playing Ace Combat, I've had some issues holding buttons down to expand the map or have it expanded to a certain distance. I will say, the zombies having different models is always something nice to see compared to the Resident Evil 1 that had all of like the same 2 or 3 zombie models. You know, it was the scientist, it was the emaciated corpse, or it was the regular guy, the emaciated corpse, or the scientist in the lab coat. Those were your options. See, I can just do that. We're fine. Or not. Are there zombies on this bus? Okay, well, there's a woman who wants to bite my ankle. Knife is pretty much useless as ever in this game. You're not getting much done with a knife in the early Resident Evil games. They don't really get useful. Nice. First Bloom headshot of the game. Knives in the Resident Evil series don't really get that useful until 4. Let's see if I can just... This makes my journey to the police station a lot easier if I can just do that. I don't have the speed to maneuver around these guys anymore, so... That's not going to be annoying later. I'm foreseeing that. It's never going to be annoying. It's a good thing they can't open doors, huh? Is there a save room down here or something? It looks like a shortcut. Oh, green herb. Thank the heavens. I wonder if there's any items over here. Nah, it's not worth it. Yeah, still, of the original trilogy, after having played some of this, played through most of 1, regrettably not finishing it, because, you know, disc scratch, but, playing through most of 1, playing the bit of this that I have so far, and playing the bit of 3 that I have, okay, blah blah blah. Playing the bit of 3 that I have, 3 I think still controls by far the best. That's helpful. Still only 2. I don't think it's 3 ink ribbons until, like, the remakes. These are previous save files from the person I bought this from. I don't know if he ever played it, but whoever he bought it from at least had played it, so... Does the light blue text mean easy? Because I started mine on normal. I'm pretty sure. Does that... I'm wondering now, did whoever owned this game before me ever beat it? Is that Marvin?
Oh, man. Who are you? Oh, you must be the new guy. Leon. Sorry, but It looks like your party has been canceled.
What happened?
About 2 months ago, there was this incident involving zombies in a mansion located in the outskirts of this city. Chris and the other STARS members discovered that Umbrella was behind everything. They risked their lives to reveal the truth, but no one believed them. Not long after that, all this started to happen.
Hang in there.
Don't worry about me. Just rescue the survivors in the other rooms. Here, take this key card. You should be able to unlock the doors in the hall with this. Now go.
But
Just go.
fine. But I'm coming back for you. Just hold on.
Did he just lock the door from the inside? Yeah. Marvin. Yeah, it seems slower since I'm injured. I have played through the remake of 2 several times. Okay. I'm gonna switch out my controller. This one is not working for me. And it's the only actual real 64 controller I have. That is one thing I'd like to commend Amazon for. I bought a bunch of RE2 controllers. I think I gave one to my brother because he liked how responsive it was. But the cord on them is a little bit shorter. That tends to be the case for RE2s I've found, is that the cord's a little shorter. But this thing, you can see there's no Nintendo brand logo on it. This is like an Amazon something. I don't know if I bought it from a particular shop or what. I can't remember. It works like a dream. It's so good. Oh my gosh. It's not like the RE2 GameCube controllers, which, yeah, they're fine. Usually, they're not as good as the standard one you can just buy, or I guess you could just buy from Nintendo, you know, the Indigo or the Silver or whatever. They're fine. But these guys? Oh. Let's see how much better this is. Oh. So much better. I think it's cuz maybe, if I had to guess, it's because it could just be that the joint is newer on this. This is a newer joint compared to the one that I have from the classic 64. Okay, that door's unlocked now. So is that one. But the other thing it could be is that this one might be somewhat digital, while the other one is completely analog. And not to say that there's anything wrong with analog. GameCube controllers are still some of the best you could buy, and those are all completely analog. I know that some people have digital ones that they use for like Smash tournament, or partial digital ones that they use for like Smash, you know, other games, whatever. Yeah, those are fine. Okay, well now it doesn't want to. What do you mean? Yeah, that's not good. Took him out though. I could use more shotgun ammo, that'd be nice. Not gonna complain about a green herb though. I think generally oh, if I wanted to play this on the D-pad, I totally could. Honestly, I think it makes it easier. Yeah, you don't use ZR for anything. I guess Z. You use R, A, B, the C buttons. And if I want to use the D-pad, I can use the D-pad. That's actually fantastic. I might be using the D-pad for the rest of this game. Honestly, if I'm using the D-pad, I might want to switch back to the authentic controller. Just because I think those are a little bit nicer. Not everything about these repros are better than the original, obviously. That's what I'm getting at. I don't think I saw text that ever said it, but I'm pretty sure that you need to have the expansion pack in order to play this game. It's the little red thing that you put in the top of your 64. Where are they? Oh. Majora's Mask is another game that requires the N64 expansion pack, and it was actually bundled, packaged with Donkey Kong 64 for an additional $20 price, I want to say? Well, I'm out of ammo, so... I should probably find more resources before I jump in headfirst into stuff, you know? These zombies are a little beefier than the original, I think. They're taking about 6 shots on average. They all still die to a close-range shotgun blast, though, so glad to see nothing's changed there. There most likely will be some zombies in here. Yep, like I said. So it's probably better to just ignore them for now. Now this game generally tends to be people's preferred in at least the original trilogy of 1, 2, and 3. And while I can't deny that it's not a bad choice, it makes me question, why is that? Of the remakes of 1, 2, and 3, I would still put my money on 1. Of the games of 1, 2, and 3 in the original lineup, I would probably put my money on 3. Oh. Police Memorandum. August 23rd, 1998. This letter is just to inform everyone about the recent movement of equipment that has happened during the precinct's rearrangement. The safe with the 4-digit lock has been moved from the STARS office to the 2nd floor, to the Eastern office. On the 1st floor. 4542. Raccoon Police Liaison Department. Star office to the Eastern office on the 1st floor. Okay. So that's probably got, if I had to guess, probably got some gun modifications in it or something. Desk is locked. Well, wouldn't it be nice to have the master of unlocking? That was really good foreshadowing. I did not get that. That wasn't a jump. I didn't jump from that, but it did. I know what that is, and it gave me a little bit of a sick feeling in my stomach. I knew exactly what that was. I know what's coming. Wait, what does that say? There's an office over by the reception desk. Okay. Is there anything in here? No. And RE2, they hid some goodies. So, I didn't know if there were any goodies or not. I know. I'm gonna say it again. Everybody's getting tired of it. This angle especially, too. Almost 1-to-1 exactly with a shot that Casper Crows pulled in Elisa. There's a scene where he jump scares the player silently. There's no sting, there's no cue, there's nothing. Where the final boss is looking through one of the windows of the mansion. And right here, they did the same thing with the liquor. And then pulled that exact same shot. Different angle, or that angled shot is when they showed the boss. Yeah, I'm getting a little flustered just because. Oop, family cutscene. There it is in all its 64-bit glory. Kind of looks like Carnage. Lickers cannot see, but they have very good hearing. So it's best to not fire your weapons unless you know you can kill it. And it's also best to walk. Can be activated since... Oh, okay. It's best to walk because they can hear running better. So you can see he's still kind of crawling towards me, but I'm pretty sure that's just his patrolling path. I don't have the capacities to fight this thing right now. So we're gonna just go this way. See if we can reset his AI and just walk around him. Or maybe I reset and play a little smarter. And not use all my handgun ammo on a group of zombies, you know? The sound effect it's making is new to me. Hang on. I have a feeling that we're probably gonna get scratched here. Let's just see what happens. It didn't even line up the same. I know my audio's a little offset, but it sounded like Leon died from being looked at. Okay, did I get the card yet? No. Okay, let's go back and talk to Marvin then. I think it's easier for me to take on one licker compared to a horde of about 8 to 10 regular zombies. But maybe I'm crazy in thinking that. Oh man.
Who are you? Oh,
Oh,
must be
you're
the
the
new guy.
rookie. Yeah.
Leon. Sorry, but it looks like your party has been canceled.
What happened?
About 2 months ago, there was this
This incident
involving zombies
zombies.
in a mansion located in the outskirts of this city. Chris and the other STARS members discovered that Umbrella was behind everything. They risked their lives to reveal the truth. But
He can
no
just say
one
Jill.
believed them.
Chris and Jill.
Not long after that, all this started to happen.
Hang in there.
Don't worry about me. Just rescue the survivors in the other rooms. Here, take this key card. You should be able to unlock the doors in the hall with this. Now go. But just go.
Fine.
So in the
But I'm
original
coming back for
game,
you. Just hold on.
I think I might have mentioned this when I played the original. They hired an amateur voice cast and only gave them one take for their line. Like they had one take. They obviously had a little bit more direction with what they wanted it here. Voice acting is by far better than one's. But I think they still did the same thing in hiring amateur Canadian voice actors for the general game. The voice acting I don't think is different in the Japanese version. I don't think they have Japanese voices, and I don't think that's been the case over the years anyways. I think it's always been a American-based an American-based voice cast, whether that be North American, I should say. Not American as in United States, but North American, either coming from the United States or Canada. We're gonna see this liquor cutscene again. Ooh, it's so good. It's so good. I'm not even 30 minutes in. Well, maybe I'm about 30 minutes in. I already love this game way more than I liked the remake of 2. And I don't know if that's necessarily a controversial statement. Let me Okay, well, it took all of our life, but not all of, well, most of our life, but not all of our bullets, which I think is the important thing. And it just gives us a green herb. Right there. I will gladly take that. I don't think I'm going to use it yet, though. Unless we get a pretty rough spot, you know? I don't hear anything. Which is always a good thing, right? Resident Evil 2 Remake I would say, much like 4, is not a bad game. 4 Remake, I should clarify. 4 Remake, just like 2 Remake, is not a bad game, but the consensus I've heard and seen about it, and in more recent years especially, it's a pretty bad remake. Operation Report. September 26th. The Raccoon Police Department was unexpectedly attacked by zombies. Many have been injured, even more were killed during the attack. Our communications equipment was destroyed and we no longer have contact with the outside. We have decided to carry out an operation with the intent of rescuing any possible survivors as well as to prevent this disaster from spreading beyond Raccoon City. The details of the operation are as follows. Security of armaments and ammunition. Chief Irons has voiced concern regarding the issue of terrorism due to a series of recent unresolved incidents. On the very day before the zombies' attack, he made the decision to relocate all weapons in scattered intervals throughout the building as a temporary measure to prevent their possible seizure. Unfortunately, this decision has made it extremely difficult for us to locate all ammunition caches. It has become our top priority to recover these scattered munitions. To unlock the weapons storage... okay, that's the end of the sentence. Okay. It was at the beginning of the next thought. To unlock the weapons storage. As stated earlier, it will be extremely difficult to secure all the ammunition. However, a considerable supply still remain in the underground weapons storage. Unfortunately, the person in charge of the card key used to access the weapons storage is missing, and we have been unable to locate the key. One of the breakers went down during the battle, and the electronic locks are not functional in certain areas. It has become a top priority to restore the power in the power room and secure those locations. Recorder, Dr. I don't know why I saw Doctor. I'm tired, man. Recorder David Ford. Operation Room, September 27th. 1 p.m. The west barricade has been broken through and another exchange ensued. We sheltered the injured in the confiscation room on the first floor temporarily. 12 more people were injured in the battle. Recorder David Ford. Additional reports. 3 additional people were killed following the sudden appearance of an as-of-yet known creature. This creature is identified by missing patches of skin and razor-like claws. However, its most distinguishing characteristic is its lance-like tongue, capable of piercing a human torso in an instant. Their numbers as well as their location remain unknown. We have tentatively named this creature the Licker, and are currently in the process of developing countermeasures to deal with this new threat. So the name itself comes from the remaining officers of the RPD who are trying to hold out until they can find help or contain the threat. They give us a hint about Chief Irons scattering ammunition across the RPD, and how unfortunate it was that he made his decision the day before all this happened. Operation map. Anything on the podium? No. When I say people think that this game has a bad remake, gladly. Again, it's not to say that the game itself, Resident Evil 2 Remake, is a bad game. The title is A Sacrifice to the Hellfire. It's not to say that the... There we go. That the remake is a bad game as a whole. But more specifically that it remade the game poorly. It was an unfaithful remake. I can't disagree with that, especially on 4, and how many times I've played both the original and the remake. I still love the remake. I think the remake is an amazing game. But it's not the same. You know, that's kind of what they were going for. the original Resident Evil 4 had a mostly, I wouldn't say unserious tone, but it certainly didn't take itself as seriously as it could have. And I think Capcom not necessarily took issue with it, but figured that they could do something better. And I appreciate that they wanted to improve the game, period. But honestly, I don't think the original Resident Evil 4 really needed that many improvements. I mean, taking out quick time cutscenes, I think, was by far the best thing they did. Just because I don't want to. There. Just because they kind of slow the pace down a little, and while most of the time they're kind of funny, I do think that as a whole they don't really need to be there. It was a product of being a game in the 2010s, the early 2010s. It's just something that tend to get put in games of that era. As random quick time events and button mashing cutscenes and stuff like that. It had no real rhyme or reason, just kind of, it was popular, so let's do it. That was a much more manageable room compared to the other side. I know this hallway. And looky there. Some treats that we can save for later. And here's the dark room. This is one of our save rooms. Beautiful. See, is there anything we can observe in here? Not really. Some more ink ribbons. Special kind of key. You know what? While we're at it, I think it'd be a good idea to save. Something I have not mentioned yet, because it would not have come up, and especially because I don't think this game, like I said, I don't think this game was ever beaten by the original owner. Something new. Y'all caught that? We're able to combine in the menu here in the item box. That's not something we could have done Resident Evil 1. I'll keep the knife on me just because it's nice to have an extra something just in case, you know. Something I have not mentioned yet because this game was not beaten prior to me purchasing it. At least I don't think so. I'm going to say that again. I don't think whoever owned this beat it. There are additional costumes for Claire and Leon in this version that were not in the PlayStation version for one reason or another. I don't know why. I honestly don't care to know why. I just think it's funny that this version specifically got additional content that the the PlayStation version didn't. The God of the Sun and the God of the Moon, their gaze upon me is the only thing that can release the red soul. So we gotta figure out how to turn these statues around, I guess. Doesn't seem like that hard of a puzzle. I don't know what we're gonna use the red jewels for. We got another one. I guess maybe it was the first one of two. How are we gonna turn this guy around? Maybe we don't have to. necessarily. I think what it wants us to do is to put them on opposite pedestals. So, like, if I push this guy out a little bit more. There. Right in the middle. No. Yeah, I think that's fine. This is a nice puzzle. I like this one. I think that should be enough to clear it. Yep, we're good. See, there we go. Yeah, now we're thinking with power, I guess. Not really playing with power. We're not playing on the Super Nintendo or the NES or anything. But fun fact number whatever of this live stream. Square. I mentioned Square. It wouldn't have been Square Enix at that time, but Square jumping ship. I don't know if Enix ever made anything for the Super or the 64. That's something I'd have to check. But Square, at least, was originally planning to put Final Fantasy VII on at least 2 cartridges. I think their plan was 3 or 4 on the Nintendo 64, and they were a decent ways into development. However, because the process was so complicated of taking what they had done on the PS1 and basically knob turns but the door won't budge. It seems to be sealed from the other side. Because of the way that the because the way that the 64 runs and, you know, their cartridges work, it wasn't going to be feasible, profitable necessarily to do what they were trying to do as a whole. A good thing that was unlocked, huh? Oh, it's the STARS office. Marksman contest winner Chris Redfield. Okay. No, I don't want to read the trophies again. I wonder, does it show up on the map as STARS office? Nope. Okay. File August 16th, Jill's note. It all began as an ordinary day in September, an ordinary day in Raccoon City, a city controlled by Umbrella. No one dared to oppose them. That and the lack of strength would ultimately lead to their destruction. I hope they had to suffer the consequences of their actions, but there would be no forgiveness if only they had the courage to fight. But it's true that once the wheels of justice begin to turn, nothing can stop them. Nothing. It was Raccoon City's last chance, and my last chance, my last escape. So, filed by Jill. It was... Oh, file number 8 of 16. Okay. Gotcha. I'm an idiot. But still, my question still stands. Did Jill come here first? What's the order of operations here? Did Jill come here first, or did Claire and Leon come here first? Chris's diary. August 8th. I talked to the chief today once again, but he refused to listen to me. I know for certain that Umbrella conducted T-virus research in that mansion. Anyone infected turns into a zombie, but the entire mansion went up in that explosion, along with any incriminating evidence. Since Umbrella employs so many people in town, no one is willing to talk about the incident. Looks like I'm running out of options. August 17th. We began receiving a lot of local reports about strange monsters appearing at random throughout the city. This must be the work of Umbrella. August 24th. With the help of Jill and Barry, I finally obtained information vital to this case. Umbrella has begun research on the new G virus, variation of the original T virus. Haven't they done enough damage already? We talked it over and have decided to fly to the main Umbrella HQ in Europe. I won't tell my sister about this trip because doing so could put her in danger. Please forgive me, Claire. The Chris's diary has been filed. Oh, there's the unicorn medallion.
Leon!
And there's Claire.
It's good to see you're still among the living. It looks like we're not gonna find your brother here after all. There's no reason for us to stay any longer than necessary. Let's split up, look for any survivors, and get out of here.
Right.
One last thing. Here's a radio. Take it. That way we can keep in touch if anything happens.
It looks a little dark on stream. I want to turn up the contrast of the image. No, not color key. What am I looking for? Color correction. There we go. There. That looks about what I'm looking at on my TV. That looks about right. It's just a little bit brighter than you're expecting, you know? So there's some pretty major puzzles in here in the remake, but I don't think we're going to find any of them here, it seems. This was Rebecca's desk, I think.
I can't believe what is happening to this city.
Anything else?
I can't believe what is happening to this city.
Nope. It's a picture of a young man. There's a good chance it's her boyfriend. Could that be Chris? I mean, appears to be a replica flare gun. The owner probably a member of the NRA. Leon would have never met Chris at this point, so maybe it's a picture of Chris? Who would Jill have on her desk? Someone must have searched under the desk. Oh, look at that. So I didn't have to stick around for kendos, I guess. Can I give it to Claire?
I can't believe what is happening to this city.
I feel like since I took that, if I decide to play through the game as Claire, I remember there being something, I thought, where if you can choose to leave certain items behind. I don't remember if that's one of them. I could be misremembering. Okay, we're gonna use that. Seems like my R button on the RE2 actually isn't as responsive as the original controller. Nice. Okay. So it looks like we gotta use the unicorn medallion first. That's not ominous. Also, I'm noticing a distinct lack of the third floor. I don't know if there is a third floor or not, but it's looking like maybe that's a no? There is in the remake, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be a third floor here. Let's see, have I been in this room? I have not been in this room. Diamond key. If I go back through here, am I gonna get... It's getting me. It's getting at me. I can't let the game get me. Okay, that got me. I don't think that did any damage, but did damage to my heart, damage to my blood pressure. Okay, that definitely did damage. If only a little bit. You know, I hate to keep going back to it, but Casper Crows pulls the same thing. There's these spots in the House of Fun that you can get grabbed by dolls that are just kind of crawling around in the walls. They don't do much damage, but they do stun you. And some of those windows, those jail bars, are in a boss fight, so they can just hold you down, and the boss can just swing at you. You know, it's not fun. Yeah, okay, we already looked at that. I'm gonna put the empty shotgun in here. We still haven't gotten to Marvin yet. It's a key. It's a spade key. Can I not see the sheet 3D model? Is there no 3D model? There was a 3D. There were 3D models in the first game, weren't there? I'm not going crazy about that, am I? Well, let's use the spade key. Is this one of the doors, or is this... Yeah, no, that's just locked from the inside, okay. I should probably be wrapping up here soon. But I can't lie, I'm getting excited. This is fun. I've used the spade key. Let's see what's in this room. printer. Okay, Leon, a copy machine, whatever. File 1 of 16, Jill's report. July 24th, 1998, Raccoon Forest. The following documents were obtained at a sanatorium owned by Umbrella Corp. Umbrella Bioorganic Weapon Publicity Material. Dev code MA39, Cerberus. Dev code MA121, Hunter. Dev code FI-3, Neptune. Dev code T002, Tyrant. In addition to the above, it is believed that several other BOW were created by means of accidental infection. During the course of the tests, it was discovered that the contagion is not limited to human beings and may pose a hazardous risk to plant and animal life forms. Effective means of controlling this contagion have yet to be found. Raccoon City Police Department stars Alpha Team, Jill Valentine. Okay, looks like, contrary to what I thought, Jill spent a lot of time here at the station before the events of 3. I guess the simultaneous events of 3. Why is this squishy there? Can I do that? No, I need to be closer. Is that book squishy? Still need to be closer. Okay. Nope. I know that. Crank. Square shaped. Yeah, I don't know why the books are squishy, but the books are making the squishy sound. It's kind of gross. I think it's a door we can open now. I think one thing the remake did really well is making you feel like you're constantly in danger. Diamond shape, okay. Once we've cleared out areas of zombies, it doesn't feel quite as dangerous here. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I would say it's a good thing gameplay wise, you know, it makes it a bit easier to roam around and get stuff done and whatnot, but tension and atmosphere, I think that point might go to the 2 remake. You know, it's not for a lack of trying or anything. In fact, quite the opposite. That introduction to the liquor, phenomenal. Some of these angles they've pulled, great. The fact that there was no indication that I would get grabbed from outside the window, I think was awesome, you know. I mean, you could have maybe guessed with how many boards were up there, but still. I don't think it was that obvious. Well, it looks like we should go to the opposite hallway now, the east side. We explored as much of the west wing as we can. And I think after exploring the east side of the station here, we should probably call it a night. I don't know how long exploring the east side is, but I think when I hit a save room over here is what I'm going to call it. I want to save shotgun ammo, I think. As much as I can. There should be a couple more. Right? Maybe not? Okay. Nothing inside looks useful. Maybe not look useful on surface level. I'm sure you can find a use for something. Okay, I'm not playing with fire there. Two shots. Alright, that took him out. Look at that. What do we have here? Club key. Is this a save room or is this more danger? Looks like we're safe. Kinda. File 1216, journalist note. As I write this, my hands shake with both anger and fear. The civilians of the town have been blockaded by the military, and though I sigh for the survivors of the town, I still feel that it's the best decision. It's the best decision. They cannot take the chance of the disease spreading any further. I'm going to make it my top priority to discover what has caused this incredibly dangerous incident. So far, I've only found out that the disease is not airborne. Good to know, I guess. There's something in there. There's something over here too, I keep seeing. It's a magic mirror. No, it's not. It's a two-way mirror. Or a one-way mirror. See that? It looks like something there's on... Looks like there's something there. But I can't reach it. It's like the middle of the desk. There we go! There was something there. It's a small key. Well, we got our Master of Unlocking. I guess that's Claire. Which is a little strange because she's gifted a lighter in later games, which... Okay, well, not later games. In Code Veronica, she's gifted a lighter. And the lighter she gives to another guy one of the guards that was guarding her on Ashford Island. And I think he escapes too. If I'm remembering correctly. There's like good, I don't think there's like a necessarily good and bad. Well, I mean, yeah, of course there's a good and bad ending. It's a Resident Evil game. But that was lucky. Only word I had for that. I'm not gonna play with that. Again, I'm not playing with that. Well then, I'm in desperate need of more ammo, it appears. I need to find that safe they were talking about, I think. Locked from the inside. Great. Now what do I do? I guess I could try getting the zombies in a train. That's good. That takes care of one of them. Stay with your pal. Did I actually get him? Nope, of course not. I got plenty of healing if I need it. Okay, well, having geometry around me does not help. Let's see if I can get both of them. There we go. That's how it's done. There should be a safe in here, I think. Yep, there it is. Let me check my file again. Four, 5, 4, 2. Looks like we need to visit a box, I suppose. See, now we have no shortage of healing. But now we gotta figure out where we need to go. I feel like I'm running out of options. choices, but more importantly, options in where I can go. There's no legend either. I think the green are club, pink are diamond, and the red is heart. Okay, and the blue is spade. No, I don't want items, I want map. So there's that door up top we can open. I'm gonna go drop off some stuff and then grab that shotgun ammo. YouTube is not receiving enough video something. I don't know what they're talking about. Open widget. Let me know if the video stream is worse in the comments, I guess. I think it looks fine, but I don't think I need the herbs on me, honestly. We've cleared out a majority of what we're looking at here. You know what, let's throw the knife in there too. It hasn't been a huge help, but it's been consistent, I suppose. I think we've gotten a couple kills with it. Oh. See, it's getting later, and I really want to play more. I'm having so much fun with this game. I think, like I said, I think I do like it even more than the remake, and the remake, you know, is really good game. There's one additional thing I want to mention that I think people had issue with in the remakes, especially compared to the original games. And I take issue with this too. I'm not a prude or anything, like, you know, prim and proper. I don't mind swearing, but the amount of swearing that happens in the remakes is excessive. It's a lot. There's a lot of, like, unnecessary language. And I know that makes me sound like an old man, but I truly think that. I think that a lot of the times they kind of just throw it in because, I mean, I want to be completely fair. I think that I would probably use more strong language in a situation like this. Leon especially, I think, has a bit of a potty mouth on him. But I think more so in 4 than in 2 remake. Yeah, that was locked from the inside. What did that look like on the map there? Nothing. I think Leon earned it in 4. You know, he'd been through a whole bunch of crap. But characters like Jill in 3 remake, Claire in 2 remake, it just seems out of character. Ada doesn't swear a whole lot. Ashley doesn't either. Chris hasn't really been in any remakes, but in 5 he wasn't swearing up a storm like a sailor. I don't know. Maybe that's just me not being hip, radical with it, you know. but I don't know. There is something about it that just makes it feel less mature, and the quips, the little quips that Leon gives in 4 Remake, especially, I think just take away from so much of the tension. You know, where he's like, he shoots down one of the Ganados or one of the cult members or whatever, and he's like, their head pop open to reveal the plaga. He's like, twisty son of a bitch. No, that just cuts the tension. You know, it cuts it with a 1,000-degree knife. You know, like, then at that point it's more of an action movie. Which at 4 was the original 4 was sort of leaning towards action anyways. I think 4 Remake puts that foot down on the gas pedal full throttle a little bit more. I certainly think there are moments in the remake that I would definitely constitute as horror. There's a lot of really good freaky moments in the 4 Remake, but it's not as quiet of a horror as the original game. And that's what I think a lot of people take issue with these remakes, is they feel more like reimaginings than they do remakes. If they were straight up remakes, it would be more like Resident Evil 1 Remake on GameCube, where keep the same story, change up the layout, you know, give some additional items, some new bosses, stuff like that, but keep almost everything at the core of the game exactly the same as it was, giving you a new experience with not just slapping a coat of paint on something and calling it a remake, like more or less the Pixel remasters. I have not played any of the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. Not saying they're bad. I've heard they're very good. I'll probably get to at least 1 or 2 of them here in the future. But those are more just like touch-up paint jobs, it seems, to me, at least. As opposed to something like Resident Evil 1 Remake, which, you know, from the ground up, basically, redid a bunch of the mechanics, the physics, a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know, there's just something so beautiful about 1 Remake that I don't think any remake ever has even gotten close to. That is yet to be seen with the Dead Space remake. That's in my Steam library. I plan on getting to it this season. Even if it's just playing it for a little bit, not doing a full stream or full video to complete it. Do I want to use a small key? I'm going to hang on to it for a little while longer. Let's see, what can I do back here? Or like the atmospheric music that's playing right now. If I wasn't commentating, this would be freaking the hell out of me. And that tends to be the case with a lot of horror games that I've played on my own and then done on the stream, like Resident Evil 1, the remake, again, especially. Just that the game itself is terrifying. And I think now less so for me because I've played it so many times, but on its own, if you're sitting in a dark room, I mean, yeah, it's a horror game, so it's going to be scary, but still, you would not expect it. Even from the original Resident Evil, you would not expect it from a game that goofy. At times, more or less. What can I do with this? Nothing, it appears. Okay, it looks like there is a third floor, not that. Yeah. It's just we can only access it from, like, these stairs. That's not good. Oh, it corresponds with that bronze plate, doesn't it? So one's in between the far one. Skip that. It's like the two very end and then they're both in the middle, but not next to each other. That's not hard. Okay. Okay, can't push that any further. No, wait, I want it right. There. That wasn't so hard. Was it? What's this? Oh, we're gonna need that later. It's a mouse tool that we're gonna be using a little bit later. Okay. Let me just go around this guy for now. See what's over here. Nothing. Okay, awesome. I like how echoey it is. I won't say it's funny how echoey it is, but it isn't. It's a tad humorous, I think. Now we can easily get back up here. Okay, and this brings me to another example of why the remake got stuff wrong. You can just get to the second floor immediately, which it seems like there's much more of a build-up to not only the exploration in this version of the game. You know, there's more of an air of that exploration, like in Resident Evil 1. And here's our save room, I guess. Okay, that's. Ooh, a small key. Secretary's Diary A. April 6th. I accidentally moved one of the stone statues in the second floor when I leaned against it. When the chief found out about it, he was furious. I swear the guy nearly bit my head off, screaming at me never to touch the statue again. If it's so important, then maybe he shouldn't have put it out in the open like that. April 7th. I heard that all the art pieces from the chief's collection are rare items, literally worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know which is the bigger mystery, where he finds those tacky things, or where he's getting the money to pay for them. May 10th. I wasn't surprised to see the chief come in today with yet another large picture frame in his hands. This time it was a really disturbing painting depicting a nude person being hanged. I was appalled by the expression of the chief's face when he leered at the painting. Why anyone would consider something like that to be a work of art is beyond my comprehension. And the mystery grows. Who is this chief? What is he like? Why does he buy these bizarre things? Well, I know why. You know, because I played the remake, but... Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. It looks like we can't combine in the box. Maybe? Yeah. How did I do it earlier then? Because I did it earlier, didn't I? Maybe not. No, it was stacks. You can't combine in the box still, but you can stack stuff like this. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Alright, I think I can be a little looser with my ammo now that I have a couple small keys to open some of the drawers around the place. Which will most likely either contain healing items or ammo. So, we'll see, I suppose. Oh, this has been wonderful. Such a cool experience playing this on a Nintendo 64 authentic cartridge. I made sure it was authentic. I looked for the printed serial code on the back. I can even show it off, maybe. That's it from Leon. Until tomorrow, asterisk, maybe. So, it sounds like I need to turn my mic down a little more, or the game audio up. Let's do 160 should be fine. I think that's okay. Let me get my picture here. Let's do that. See if I can get this on camera. Right there. If you can, I know that the camera quality's not great. There, if you see little indents like the 0, let me read it off. This is 0 PA. I can't tell. The lighting's not great right here. It's an 8. Or an R? 3. Yeah, I think that's an 8. I think it's an 8. But yeah, this thing, as far as I know, because I can tell that they had the printed number on the back, that's the only real way I know how to tell. 99.9% sure there's a 0. We'll throw in a few extra 9s. There's like a 0.00001% chance that this is a repro, but I'm pretty sure that this is completely authentic. For comparison, I know that couldn't really see it, but for comparison, I have a copy of Ocarina of Time, which I got for Christmas from my grandparents, and I appreciate it a lot, but they're not super knowledgeable on retro games. So what they got me was, you can even tell by the sticker, that's like a veneer, plasticky kind of. And let me show the other sticker. See, that's, well, maybe it's similar, but it's not one-to-one. More of a plasticky, yeah, it's more of a plasticky. They probably got this off of Amazon. It's obviously a repro. I'm not bent out of shape about it, because when you're looking for, the authenticity is nice. I will always say that, but it's more important in stuff like the Pokemon games, because sometimes you can't transfer Pokemon from one generation to the other. The cartridge that you're trying to transfer to will sometimes detect that it's not real. The other thing is, you know, it's part of it is just the pride of having it on your shelf. I have a copy of, I don't want to rat myself out. I got a couple rare games, and I don't want to just like say what I have, but there's a few rare games that I have. Nothing super duper expensive, but expensive enough that I wouldn't want to just share the information. I would feel I don't want to say embarrassed, but I'd feel incomplete if I had the game on my shelf and it was a repro. Just because, you know, you see it there, it's like, well, but it's not the real disc, or it's not the real cartridge, or whatever. It's just same thing with like Majora's Mask. I've considered getting a copy for N64, but I do have the what's it called? Called the collection thing on GameCube. I have that, so I can play Majora's Mask on my Wii. I can download it, definitely legally, for the Virtual Console on my Wii as well. I don't know. I'd like to get the gold foil cartridge, but nah, maybe not, you know? Anyways, I'm gonna put this back first. I gotta fix my shelf. Everything fell over as I was trying to switch the HDMI for Resident Evil Remake. Last night? 2 nights ago? It was 2 nights ago. Excuse me. Yeah, I think that's everything. Again, I'm gonna put the cartridge back in the console, I think. Good morning, good evening, good night, and tune in tomorrow for, I think, some more Resident Evil. Maybe we'll do some Elisa. I was looking at speedrun.com. The world record for that is 46 minutes. I could definitely probably get that. I think that was New Game Plus. That's all from me. Thank you for tuning in. Small but mighty. God bless. Goodbye.